Well, good morning, YouTube. I'm not sure I was going to get this video going today. The sun has taken a long time to get up. I think we're at the shortest days of the year. Sunrise was at 7:30. It's now 7:33, and sunrise is at 4:30, 4:45 today. So wasn't sure I was going to be home in time to get it either. Anyways, so welcome back to Along for the Drive here on Along for the Ride. And it's been an interesting week. As you might be able to hear, I don't have much of a voice. This is probably the best it's been all week. So it's been a tough teaching week when you don't have a voice. Tough to talk over machines and talk to students and get through the day when you can't talk. But here we are. We wanted to make sure we got this video done. And interesting thing this week, we've been kind of talking about and focusing on careers a bit in my construction class and talking about where these students want to go after high school. And I gotta say, it made me kind of stop and think and kind of reflect on how I got to where I am right now. Because to be honest with you, this wasn't really my path. I mean, teaching was always my path. And to be honest with you, I can't tell you when I knew I wanted to be a teacher. But I was going to teaching, and I went to Teachers College to teach math. That's what I wanted to do. I love math. Yeah, I was a nerd back in high school, a total nerd. No question about that. I was not the coolest guy on the block, that's for sure. But I wanted to teach math, so went to Brock University in Canada here in St. Catharines, Ontario, and took my Con Ed program, which was the first year they offered the Con Ed program where you did your teaching degree and your other degree at the same time, which was kind of cool, because again, I knew I wanted to teach. So did that, much to the demise of my math teacher at high school, who thought I should have went to Waterloo. But I knew I didn't want to be a mathematician. I knew I wanted to teach, so that's what I did. So got out of Teachers College, spent most of my time working and working in the trades. I worked with an uncle of mine in sheet metal for quite some time. My dad, I grew up in his wood shop doing stuff with wood, but the idea of, I mean, I couldn't tell you where the tech department at my high school was when I was a student there. Not a clue. I was an academic all the way and not a very computer literate person. But when I look at what I'm doing now, it's very different than what the high school me would have thought I would be doing. And I love it. I do love it. But, you know, I've been asking my students to kind of think about their post-secondary, think about setting goals, where do they want to be at some point in their lives, you know, apprenticeship versus just going to work in a construction industry without having any licenses or anything like that. And I don't know that I really set goals as a kid, to be honest with you. I'm sure people ask me about my goals, but when I stop and think and look back, I wouldn't have thought I would have been driving a nice truck like this. I always thought it was kind of cool to see people driving nice trucks like that, but I honestly didn't believe I would be doing that, and that would be one that I would have. And now I have a Sea-Doo that we spend a nice Sea-Doo that we spend time on in the summer as well, and just things like that. Not sure how I got here. I think a lot of it's kind of spontaneous. In fact, if you'd ask my wife, I'm sure she'd tell you that most of it's spontaneous. If you think about how I just kind of dropped the ball and bought the Spider this summer and the couple summers before the Sea-Doo, it's certainly been a spontaneous sort of, I think I'd like to do this right now. And I guess that's, you know, that works when you can afford to do that, and that works when you've got the means to do that. So, you know, building the house, if you asked me in a high school career if I would have ever built my house myself, I might have told you that I would have liked to have done that. I don't know that that would have been a goal that I had set for myself. I know that at some point I was thinking that I wanted to build a log home. I was thinking that I would like a log home, let's say that. Not necessarily build, but thinking I'd like a log home. We don't have a log home right now, and if I was to do it again, I would probably build the house totally different. But I have to say I enjoyed the process and feeling pretty proud about the process. I mean, every time I drive in the driveway, I know that's the house that I built. Depending on how old you are and you're watching this video, if you're thinking about setting goals or if you're looking at life wondering where it is you're going to be 5 years from now, I honestly couldn't tell you. I think I know where I'd like to be in 5 years. It'd be nice to be able to be retired from teaching and maybe doing building as a full-time business. I'm not sure that I would not miss teaching and some of the benefits that I have with teaching. I love the production stuff that we're getting into, and next week we're going to be warming up for our show the week after, so we got lots of stuff going on there. But even that, like I used to play with the mixer at high school, and I know I helped out the choir here and there a few times, but really didn't understand what I was doing. So, you know, most of the stuff that I've learned, I've been self-taught. I teach ComTech now. I'm an avid Photoshop user, pretty avid Illustrator user, trying to dabble in After Effects with this YouTube stuff. So again, all self-taught and kind of interesting because yesterday I was just listening to Marquise Brownlee video, and he was kind of going over some of his original videos, and one of the things that he mentioned as well was that everything that he does, he was self-taught too. So it's not impossible. You just got to give it some time, commit to it, and yeah, so when I look back and think about where I am now, I'm really pleased at where I am now. I'm kind of proud of myself, actually, to be quite honest with you. I thought I'd share a little bit of that with you today, and just, you know, depending on where you're at with setting goals and that kind of thing, you just never know. Sometimes life just happens, and I feel like for me, you know, with hard work and with direction and with maybe some real short-term goal setting, you know, I got to where I wanted to, but life just kind of happens. Thought I'd share that with you today and this week. Had a couple other ideas, but they weren't panning out, and because I didn't have a voice, couldn't get them done. So for now, this is Greg Sinty saying see ya. Enjoy the weekend. Hope you had a good week, and we'll see you next week on Along for the Drive, here on Along for the Ride. Take care.